Hello there, I'm Greg Watson, and we're going to have a series of 8 videos that are an orientation to structured process improvement. For those of you who are just beginning this journey, this is the introduction to some fundamental concepts that will be used for continual business improvement at all levels of the company. And we want to begin with just talking about how to participate as a team member for continual improvement of your work. These exercises are meant to be embedded into a discussion at the group level, basically your local working groups, to have some sort of activity at the end to discuss the meanings of these and what are the implications for your working performance. So 4 questions we're going to talk about in this series. So why are we here? What is our purpose for doing the work? And then how can we improve the way that we do our work? And then how can we achieve quality in our daily work activities? So we believe that there's need for improvement about the quality of the work that we provide for customers. So what is it that we can do to make this happen? I'd like to begin this and introduce the 8 videos. And the question really is, how do we organize our work so it be constantly improved? And each of these videos is a short video. There are no more than 20 PowerPoint slides in any one of them. And team activities and discussions are integrated into each one at the end of the videos. So this is the series that we will be talking about. And so without any further ado, what I'd like to do is begin the first one on dedicating effort to the pursuit of quality. Now, the pursuit of quality is basically something that each of us intuitively wants to do. I don't know too many people who purposely go to work and say, I'm going to do a bad job. Most of us go and want to do a good job, or as good as we can do, given our training, education, and experience. And so the question that we really want to take a look at is, what is quality in our daily work? What do we mean by quality? And quality has been a term that's been described in many, many different ways since Aristotle in 300 BC. As we start taking a look at it, the variety of definitions is extreme. Several years back, about actually 25 years ago, I was asked to simply define quality. And I realized that's not an easy thing to do. And in the pursuit of about 15 years of study and trying to do this, looking at everything that there can be looked at, I, in the middle of my doctoral work, described quality in a way that I thought could be helpful. So what do we mean by quality? Well, we need a transcendental definition. So what is a transcendental definition of the concept of quality? It's one that can apply in all applications at all levels of any organization or individually anywhere in the world in any type of discipline or function. So here is that definition. Quality is the relentless pursuit of goodness, doing things right, getting things that are appropriate for the audience, coupled tightly with the persistent avoidance of badness. And that means not doing things that are unacceptable. Now, both of these imply that there is an external standard of judgment. It's not just ourselves, but it is the person receiving the output of our work, our customer, if you will. And so the customer gets to judge what's good and what's bad. And we achieve this idea of quality when we are always describing something as goodness from the customer's point of view, and the customer sees no badness in that particular deliverable. Now the question is, how do we operationalize that in a real world experience? That's a nice academic discussion, if you will, for theory. But based on that, what do we do about it? As we start seeing it, we have to be much more specific in terms of how we would apply it in a particular organization or business application. And so I defined this 3 different approaches to quality based on the applications that we have in different contexts. So product quality is one definition, service quality is a second, and process quality is a third. And so when we talk about operationalizing the definition of quality, that means we get specific and find it, what is its meaning in a tangible, real-world environment. So the question we have to ask is, which of these 3 applications fits your work situation the best? So what do we mean by each one? Well, first, when we talk about the product quality application, product quality is a purposeful outcome that will be delivered by a product when it's placed in the hands of the customer in the customer's operational environment. So the definition in the blue box is talking about something called fitness for use by the customer in the intended application and actual environment. So the customer is using that product for what they had wanted to buy it for, or the reason that they purchased it, and in the real environment in which they encounter the need for applying that particular product. Now, there are a number of elements to this. One is product requirements. Do we really understand what they want? Do we deliver reliable results, that the results are repeatable over a long period of time? They're evaluated by the customer because it's their measurement system that's used to determine what is the quality of their experience they have. They're looking for fault-free operation as well as cost-effective performance over a long period of time. So the question is, does a deliverable consistently deliver on promises made in both our product specifications as well as market promotions, as well as the expectations of customers for our industry in general? The second type of quality application is service application. So service application is the sum of the customer's feelings as experienced in the routine delivery of service by our organization with the operation of their products in their environment. So here what we see is the definition of quality is consistent delivery of the desired service level over an extended period of time and across all locations. So customers would expect to have an even amount of quality at all locations where they're having the product serviced. So they wouldn't expect it to be spotty or have highs and lows. So the service quality elements basically require, first of all, an understanding of what are the true service requirements of customers. Again, we need reliable results. They're evaluated by the customer, and we want to see mistake-proof operation, that when it's serviced, it stays operating after some period of time. And so we don't expect to have it serviced and then have to bring it back because it didn't work and then bring it back again and so forth. So we expect cost-effective, hassle-free performance over the long time. So the question we want to ask here is, what is the gap between the customer's desired and actual experience with the performance of our services? And so that's going to be a question that we need to challenge ourselves when we look into improving the quality of a service business. The final application is talking about the process application of the quality concept. Now, process quality is a system of activities that convert material and information content to useful outcomes that meet or exceed customer requirements. So process requirements basically are those things that we do when we're delivering on work. So the definition here is maximizing the level of productivity relative to the customer demand with minimal waste, cost, inefficiency, or loss. So as we're looking at this, we're seeing it's about our way of working, how consistently we are, how well we do that work. And the process quality requirements are also basically evaluated there. Process requirements. This is related to the physics, if you will. It's related to the operating conditions, the human conditions of work that are being performed, as well as the consistency of their performance over time. We would like to have reliable results. That means we can count on the delivery of those requirements. Again, the customer is making the judgment, and we would like to see waste and loss-free operation so customers only are receiving what they want to pay for. They're not receiving anything that is representing a delay in service or an excess cost that is not part of the package that they've agreed with. So basically, cost-effective outcomes. The question we ask here is, does our way of working produce desired customer outcomes in minimal time, with best results, and at the lowest total cost? So these three areas are all questions that we have to probe to understand the true meaning of this generic application. So what I'd like to do is let you have a break now and take a look at having a team discussion. Here is that overall transcendental definition we started with. Quality is the relentless pursuit of goodness, coupled tightly with the persistent avoidance of badness. Now, those words coupled tightly means that goodness and badness must be delivered concurrently. In other words, you can't have one or the other. We have to deliver both goodness in those things that the customer wants and avoid badness from the things that the customer does not want. So ask yourselves a question individually. Do you understand what good quality is in your personal outcome? So to a great extent, moderately, minimally, or not at all. And then team, discuss what does this generic quality definition mean in practice to you and your team? What are the things you'd need to do better, or the things you'd need to stop doing, or not do as bad as we're doing? Where is improvement necessary in the things that we do to be able to fulfill this definition of quality? So thank you very much, and I hope you have a good discussion.